Well, we got very little information in the form of economic statistics this week. Unemployment claims rose a little bit, but there just wasn't. We had a trade deficit that rose about 15%, but there was very little meaningful economic statistics released, so might as well not talk about them. Let's talk about 2013. I don't like to look back. Let's look forward. What is the benefits? What's going to happen in the economy? What benefits to the economy will lead us to believe that the stock market continued to rise? And the obvious benefits besides housing, we know housing is recovering slowly. We know that we're producing jobs, just not very many. We also know that the price of energy in the United States is low. When I talk about energy, I'm specifically addressing natural gas. Oil prices are still high, but we are producing more and more of that, as I've said before. But the price of natural gas the price difference in Europe is about 400%. And that price difference is going to drive more manufacturing here in the United States, which is good. Those are kind of that's kind of the background that we are dealing with. The big drag I see for 2013 will be Washington, the government. They're still going to their spending is still out of control. There seems to be no effort to try to slow it down. The Republicans are going to argue with the Democrats. There are going to be debt ceiling issues. There's going to be the uncertainty out there is going to come from Washington more than anything else. Mind you, the economy is not growing that strong. We're still looking at a pretty weak growth story going forward, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. There's really no plans for stimulus, and in fact, with the new fiscal cliff agreement, we've already seen, if you had a paycheck so far, you've already seen your paycheck being less because of the Social Security taxes going back up to where they were. They never really should have been dropped, if you want my opinion, because all it does is make us now have less money going forward. We have to get used to the way things are. The reality is we have a very slow growing economy. We don't have too many jobs. We're going to have a lot of people unemployed. We have to get used to that idea and somehow try to increase the growth of our economy without spending the future of our children's income. And we're in a hard place because I don't know how we're going to do that. We're in a European place or a Greece place. How do you do that? You can't keep borrowing money to try to stimulate growth. What you can do is reduce taxes, give people back their money, reduce spending so that at least that, from a government point of view, that the spending will go down and that we know that we're not mortgaging the future. But there is no effort to do any of that. I don't see that happening. There's no serious effort to do any of that. So I think we're just going to be stuck with a slow growth environment for 2013, similar to 2012, with a little bit of improvement in the housing industry. Basically, that's what we have. Longer term, maybe we have some hope with the cheap natural gas energy that we're producing and the extra oil that we're finding, if the federal government will get out of the way and let them do that, let us explore and do it for oil. That could be the biggest boon, but I don't see, biggest boon for our economy, but I don't see any big effort on the government side to foster that boom. So now, don't get depressed. I'm not saying the stock market's going to go down. I think the stock market's going to go up this year. I just don't think it's going to go up that much. I think the first part of the year looks better than the second part of the year. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. You want to be fully invested at this time of the year. This is the best time of the year to do it. So you do it.
The Invest Talk Update is a monthly briefing that gives you a snapshot of the past month's market, along with other useful perspective and information. You'll see important articles like Protecting Your Investments Against Scam Artists, excerpts from Steve's book, links to the month's Invest Talk talking points, plus news of upcoming Invest Talk events in your area. And it comes free each month to your email box. To get your subscription, just go to investtalk.com and click on the icon at the top of the page.